I want to kind of talk about something that you don't hear a lot about on any of the YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to or any of the videos that I've watched. And it's about not catching fish when you've tried every technique under the sun and you just can't figure out why you can't catch a fish.
Gotta be 4-pounder.
So first of all, you're not alone. It's actually something that everyone struggles with. They just don't admit it. You know, you watch these YouTube videos and these guys are catching these awesome bass, and it just seems like they do it all the time. It's just not true. Think about it. I mean, do they upload a video every single day of them catching these awesome fish? No. They fish every day, and once a month or once every 2 weeks, they will put together some of their best fish, and that's the video you're watching. So don't think that, these guys are going out there catching these monster bass like it ain't nothing, because it just doesn't work that way. But there's a reason why you're not catching fish at all. It is something to wonder about, because I truly feel that there's always a way to catch fish. The big misconception is that, oh, well, they just weren't biting today, or they're just not biting right now. That's not true. It's just sometimes they don't bite as much, which might mean they're not feeding at that time. This is where you need to realize that there's another level. It's not only about knowing when to use the topwater, how to use the topwater, or where to use the topwater. Those are not the only things you need to know when it comes to catching fish, especially when you're not getting any bites, you just cannot catch a fish, and you're just not understanding why the heck you're not catching fish. There's a second layer to all this that you're not considering. You may know that the water's cold, so they may be slow. They may be out deep. The water's warm. They may be active. They may be coming up shallow. There's an overcast, so they might be coming up shallow. A lot of times, all those rules is what hinders us from actually catching fish. And because you don't see that extra layer, you don't hear people talk about it on YouTube. What I'm talking about is, what kind of action are you giving that lure? Each lure has their own action, but there's things that you can do with the rod and the reel in your hand. I truly think you can give a lure action that almost forces the bass to bite it. And it may not be what your standard way to fish that lure is. It may not be a 1-2-3 or a 1-2 pause or a jerk stop. It may not be those things that people talk about. It may be something that you're just confident in doing, that you found out that works. And this is where it's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of a field. There's all these different terminologies out there that kind of help us explain different retrieval techniques. But what you don't hear on a lot of these YouTube channels, do something that you haven't heard people say to do and realize it works and get confident in it. There's things you can do that give lures action that are not, advertised. It's a lot about feel. It's a lot about confidence. It's a lot about trying things that you just think might work, because all you're really trying to do is entice that bass to bite your lure. There's an unlimited amount of different possibilities of action that you can give a specific lure, especially a sinking type lure or a bottom type bait. I think it's important, not to forget that you're the angler and you're the guy that's out there trying to trick that fish into biting. Get on the water or the bank, and you just need to experiment. If you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and see you next time.